This is how I color grade on my DJI Action 5 Pro. So let's begin the video now. So we're currently shooting on the DJI Action 5 Pro at 4K 30 frames per second, and this is D-Log color 10-bit. And there's two different ways on how to color grade your camera with the Action 5 Pro. So I'm going to explain those points over right now. Okay, so with the DJI Action 5 Pro, there's going to be the easy method and the hard method. So first we're gonna go over the easy method, which is not too difficult, but requires a bit of step-by-step procedures here. So step one, you're gonna essentially download the DJI Mimo app. And when you get the Action 5 Pro, you most likely have to get the app in itself. You have to get it for all DJI products, whether that's the Pocket 3 or the Nano or whatnot. But anyway, so once you get the app, you move on to the next step, which is this. Alrighty, so once the app is successfully downloaded and all that is complete and ready to go, you basically just have to go out there and shoot footage. So shoot a variety of different footages, and you have to make sure it's on D-Log color 10-bit, and you have to make sure Pro settings are on the Action 5 Pro. And if it's the other cameras, you have to figure that out. But for the Action 5 Pro specifically, Pro mode and on D-Log color 10-bit. And when you successfully get quite a bit of footage ready to go and you're ready to make a full video, you collect them all together and then move on to the next step via the DJI Mimo app. So we'll go over that right now. Alrighty, so when you're on the DJI Mimo app, what you're gonna do next is you'll see a variety of all the videos that you recently just filmed, and you're gonna see my versions on the B-roll right now. So I'm gonna click on one of those videos, and then when you enter in the portal screen, so to speak, you're gonna click on the grading button. So you're gonna see me toggle it back and forth, and then that is going to be the difference between a color graded footage and a non-color graded footage. You can see a significantly better amount of color when I do press that button versus not. And then when you complete that process, you go ahead and click the export on the top right corner, and that's pretty much it. That is why it's the easiest part. And yeah. Okay, so once you successfully export all of your files and they're all color graded and everything, do note that you're only allowed to use the DJI Mimo app and export directly into your phone. So you won't be able to use it to export to anything else. So once it's exported on my phone, I go ahead and transfer it over to my external SSD, then put it into my computer. That can be a little bit of an inconvenience for a lot of people. That's how I do it, but there are other ways to do it too as well. If you want an alternative method, this is where number two comes in and how to color grade using the DJI Action 5 Pro. Note that when I export my files, they go all directly to CapCut PC, although some of you use DaVinci Resolve or whether that's Premiere Pro or something like that, but I like to use CapCut PC because of its simplicity and it sort of gets the job. But anyways, let's move on to number two. Okay, now we're going to be moving on to number two, and number two is going to be a little bit more difficult, and we're going to break down how that actually goes down right now. So for number two, you're going to want to film all your footage on D-Log 10-bit on the Pro mode for color grading, and then that's how it works with the Action 5 Pro, but it's probably really similar with other DJI Action or DJI cameras in general, like the Pocket 3 or like the Nano, so on and so forth. But basically, you shoot out your footage kind of similar to the first one, but for the second one, when you finish all of the footage and everything's filmed completely, you're going to want to plug in your Action 5 Pro via USB-C onto your computer, whether that's A or C, whatever component your computer uses. So you plug in all of the footage onto your computer, then you transfer the files over, and then you put it into your editing software, whether that's CapCut, Premiere Pro, DaVinci, whatever you use, and then you move on to the next portion of grading. So with grading with the Action 5 Pro as well as other DJI cameras, you're gonna wanna go on the DJI website, and you'll be able to download accessible LUTs directly connected to these Action cameras or like any of the cameras that DJI offers. If you have the Action 5 Pro, for example, go on the main website, download DJI Action 5 Pro LUT for Rec 709, and then when you download that file over, you just drag it over to your editing software, and then you'll be able to use it as an attachable LUT, and then you can toggle and sort of grade how you please based on the LUT in itself, and then that should work successfully. Now, if you guys remember, I said number two is a bit of a more difficult process versus just using the app and then just grading from there. When it comes to number two, when you put your LUT into your editing platform or software, whatever you want to call it, and then you put the LUT in and everything, you do need to toggle sort of the colors and like the saturation, the brightness and all that yourself, or you need to go on the color wheel and personally like fix that and then make everything organized. It's a little dark here. Let me move over to the other side. Yeah, so that in itself is going to be a bit of a process. Once you sort of figure that out, you should successfully be able to color grade your footage. This is a faster process if you want to transfer over your files and color grade it. It is a little more difficult, so do keep that in mind. But if you want to ultimately be an advanced grader, you do need to know how to properly color grade this way and toggle sort of the settings on your editing platform successfully. And that way you can have really nice color graded footage, and the processing of transferring the files over from your camera to the editing software and getting everything exported out and completed for posting, it's just way faster this way. But it is harder, but it's faster. But if you want ease of use, you can definitely just use the Mimo app and then grade on there, export it to your phone, transfer the SSD, and then transfer to your computer and then edit on your software that way. So whichever way you choose, it doesn't matter as long as you get the job done. But one way is definitely harder than the other, and that just comes down to color grading on the wheel. So it just depends on your preference and what you want to do. So that's essentially it. So whether you use number one or number two, it's it's solely based on like what your preference is and like what successfully works for you. I like to use the DJI app and then just sort of export the files directly into my computer afterwards via the SSD, and then everything works out and then everything looks nice as it is. And it's a way easier way to color grade, but it just takes a bit longer to export or transfer the files over, and that's fine. Number 2 also works as well, but you kind of have to be a pro and know how to toggle things. It's up to you anyways. So check out the affiliate links down below. We're not currently monetized on the channel yet, but we are getting oh so closer day by day, so that's really awesome to see. That being said, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and peace.